All right, Forever Fly family, listen, I have something special for you today. That's right, I'm cooking it up right out of the kitchen. And then we have some secret sauce for you too.
Oh, wow.
Got somebody special with me today. Somebody that's special to my heart. Ruth and I, we look up to this young man and his wife. We have for years. They have been mentors for us. And in name, Bishop Horace Hockett from Nashville, Tennessee. He founded Born Again Church in Nashville and has done many things, many marvelous things throughout the past. How many years of ministry, Bishop?
Ministry over 50 years, pastoring going on 48. Yeah.
50 years of ministry.
Right.
Guys, did you hear that? 50 years of ministry.
I'm old.
Hey, listen, before we even go any further, this is what I need you to do, all right? Because you're going to enjoy this program. I need you to give me the thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up button on YouTube and subscribe. Many of you are sneak watching. That's what you're doing. You watch every week because the analytics show it, but you're not subscribing. And I don't know why, because you must like us. You keep tuning in. So go get your popcorn real quick. I'll give you just a second to get the popcorn, okay? Get you something to drink and then sit down, and we're going to talk about the importance of mentorship. Yes, having someone in your life that is filled with integrity, wisdom, discernment, right? You need someone that you can look up to and that you can bounce ideas and questions off of. You need someone you can model and emulate. That's what you need. You, the businessman, you lady, you just started that boutique. You need to find someone that you can model and emulate, somebody filled with integrity and wisdom and discernment. And I think I'm gonna help you today find that person. And I have a few questions I'm gonna ask Bishop in just a moment. So now you should have your beverages and your snacks. And so sit down and let's do this thing, okay? All right, Bishop, how long have I known you? Personally, I've known about you for years. And you have actually influenced my ministry. I don't know if you guys know, many of you know I pastor in Louisville, but my church actually was inspired by this wonderful gentleman here, Bishop Hockett. He has been an integral part of my life before he knew that he was an integral part of my life. I went to his church, Ruth and I went to his church. This was back in the 90s, probably around 96. And we went for a church service and we were just blown away by the worship, the word, and the camaraderie of the saints, the unity that was there and that's still there. And I came back home and God spoke to me and said, start that church in Louisville. And so I did the best that I could do.
You did good. You did pretty good.
And so I am so pleased to be here. And actually we're here on a pastor's retreat. And so Bishop is, he's over Kingdom Builders Network, which is a fellowship of ministries, not just churches, but other types of ministries, people who are ministers of the arts and other things, right, Bishop?
Correct. Yeah.
And so we're all meeting here, and Bishop is pouring into us. And, you know, a leader needs a leader. Leaders need leaders. Leaders need time away from what they do on a day-to-day basis so that they can be poured into and learn and listen. And that's what I'm doing here today. So Bishop has already kicked off. This is the first day of our retreat. And so Bishop, before we even get started, what inspired you to become a leader? And how did that happen? What was the process to that? I don't know.
Well, good question, I guess. If you ask my brother, I have an identical twin. And so there's always been a comrade, in my life. And He doesn't listen very well. So I was inspired to become a leader early on. That's just to get the jokes out of the way. I think it comes through what you view and how those people function, how they operate. And if they bring some level of blessing, order, things like that into your life. And if you're exposed to that early on, you could probably understand what a parentless house would feel like. What do you emulate? Where do you get those examples from? But if you grow up in a family where daddy's present,
yes,
and I don't mean just being in the house, I mean, his role is being fulfilled, or where mom is present, things of that nature. It just makes a different experience on your life. And so you would aspire to things. We watched a lot of black and white TV. I remember when television came to Nashville. So I'm not telling you how old I am, but I'm letting you know that we're old. But the people we were watching wore certain clothes, what we call church clothes, housewives with pearl necklaces on. Daddy going to work, coming back and giving his children allowances and things like that. I didn't have an idea what an allowance was as a child. We had responsibilities, we had chores, things like that, but nobody was paying us. So, you're patterning or you're living your life, but you're looking at something else that's been presented. And you say, well, I think I would like that. Dad, I need an allowance, but Dad was working 2 jobs already, just trying to make ends meet. So our environment impacts a lot of what we look to or where we find leadership or the example that we want to follow. So the things that we didn't have, and I'm just imagining how it would be if I did have them. So, some of that came from other places, not in your own household. And when you, connect with some of those things, sometimes you don't realize how good you have it. Right, true. Because a lot of those superficial things are in place, but the love, the responsibility, we were poor and we didn't even know it because the house was full of so many other things that were pertinent, to life. So leadership has different styles, different formats, and whatever you are akin to, I believe it had something to do with where God is taking you. If He's planted something in you, then that's probably what you would gravitate towards, I would think.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, I have about 4 questions I need you to answer for me.
Okay.
And I think that they would really enjoy, they're going to enjoy your responses. Okay. And so here's the first question. Bishop, many successful people believe that they can figure out life on their own. What is the hidden danger of a leader in any capacity? Husband, wife, mother, father, pastor, community leader, business leader, etc. What is the hidden danger of a leader in any capacity trying to lead others without having a mentor speaking into their life?
Yeah. The dangers would be insurmountable. I don't think we could ever come up with a number. But if someone has been there before, just sitting at our dinner table, Dad is sitting at the head, and dinners at home was a review of the day, and you'd even get commentary on how his day went or how Mom's day went. And they want to know, your progress in school or lack thereof.
Yes.
Mom mentions, who should be disciplined and things of that nature. That's the kind of household we grew up in. So you kind of pattern your life, after those kinds of things. You're not necessarily appreciating it when you're the one being disciplined. But later on in life, you see the necessity of it, and we were all pretty successful because of it.
Yes.
And so you gain or you learn, as you go. So if you can lead without a mentor, but I do think you will experience much more difficulty than if you're not patterning yourself. And it doesn't even have to be the best pattern, but you're going to pattern yourself after something. And if you're trying to figure it out by yourself, look at all the wisdoms that you are negating or you're not allowing to help you formulate an idea or an opinion. So if I wanted to emulate someone, I said, well, you asked the question, well, what did you do to get to this particular place in your life? So leading I don't see how you do it without some type of mentorship.
Some type of
It's
mentorship.
coming from somewhere.
Yes, sir. So what have you seen in your, this is off just a little bit, an extension of this question. What have you seen in individuals, because you've been around a long time, to see various leaders come and go. What have you seen that's been the nemesis to some, especially those who don't have mentors, and they're kind of out there on them, by themselves, and kind of like some of you guys might be, where you feel like you don't need anyone.
Yeah.
What have you seen, some of the pitfalls, I guess?
Yeah.
That's a good one. Some of the pitfalls that they might fall into when you don't have a mentor.
Yeah, you really need someone who knows you. And when I say know you, they know what excites you.
Yes.
They know what disappoints you. These are usually people who've been around, they study you, not like a textbook, but they've watched you in situations. Scripture says, train up a child in the way he should go.
Yes.
And so mom and dad, they get downloads from the father if you're in relationship with him. And he's going to give you indications as to what your boy or your girl is, was created for. That's why you need that relationship, because the wisdoms that we need, we just don't have the ability to access them all.
Right.
But God knows when they should be introduced, how they should be introduced, and in the format that they should come so that you'll actually receive it. If you don't have that practice or that in your life, you got a lot of trial and error.
Yes.
You got a lot of hurt feelings in the process, or you hurt others in the process. One of the biggest nemesis is, as wonderful and as much of a blessing as it is zeal.
Zeal.
I have an idea and I want to get this done.
Yeah.
But you want to get it done more than you want to get it done right.
Ooh, wait a minute. That's secret sauce right there.
Okay, that's the secret sauce
That's
we're talking
secret
about.
sauce right there. That's something that they need, that they can take home.
Yeah.
You said, say it again.
You want to get it done, but you need to get it done right.
But you want to get it done right.
Right. Mom makes a good cake.
Wow.
And you're going to go make a cake. But you don't take the time to allow mom to teach you ingredients, proportions,
Wow.
cooking time,
Right.
all of that, because you want the end product, but you don't realize all of what it takes to get there.
That's good.
So sometimes we run, I call it front sliding. You know what a backslider is? You run away from
Yes,
God.
yes, yes.
Sometimes you run ahead of him.
Ooh,
You
wait
have-
a minute. Whoa. That's secret sauce.
That's the,
That's secret sauce.
we're cooking up something.
We're cooking
here, right?
up
Okay.
something today. Wait a minute, Bishop. Now you put more on me than I can bear.
Okay.
Yeah. Now wait a minute. Take me back to the backsliding and the front, because you said that's too quick and that
Too
was too
quick.
good.
All
That
right,
was too
all right.
sweet. You gotta say.
Well, you have a relationship with God, you're
Yes.
inundated with it, and you decide that you don't want to follow him anymore, so
Yes, sir.
you turn away from the Father. We call that backsliding.
Yes.
Now, front sliding, I don't even know if that's a real term, it just comes to your spirit. But God gives you incentives. He gives you motives. He gives you ideas.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to be an architect. I like to draw. I wanted to be in advertising. Then a lot of things come, but you can't get those things done without the proper training. And so if I push forward, and my daddy he was a carpenter and a plumber and an electrician. He wouldn't allow us to use his tools because he knew that it takes a level of appreciation and know-how to properly utilize the tool. We just wanted to use the tools.
Wow.
So here we are, excited about building that doghouse, that picnic table, chest of drawers. My brother and I, we tried to build some of everything. But the nails we wasted, and a dulling a saw, not knowing how to properly hold a hammer, where the weight comes and how to push the nail. You don't even need hammers nowadays. Everything is electric and things like that. But it was a lot of wisdom that would take, or trying to drive a car at 3, as opposed to,
Right.
going through classes, learning, getting comfortable, and the more comfortable you get with it, the easier it is to multitask behind the
sir.
wheel. Not that you should be multitasking behind the wheel, but I'm just saying there's a lot that takes place. So sometimes we don't have the patience to wait,
Yes, sir.
or we don't want exercise the discipline to learn and what it takes to get to that next level, so that you don't run so far ahead of God that you cause shipwreck hurt yourself or hurt somebody else just because of the lack of preparation, lack of wisdom, lack of knowledge.
That they could be getting from a good mentor.
From a good mentor. That's what he's there for, right?
Wow.
And
that was good.
Right. But it's not always in a classroom setting. It just comes out of conversation. Or you're standing next to Dad while he's changing a tire.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
It's like me standing next to you.
Yeah, you're just learning as you go.
And when we have certain meetings from time to time, and I try to make sure my mouth is closed so that I can hear what's being said and then receive what's being said. And when you're with a mentor, I'd say 80% of the time you need to be quiet.
Right.
So you can just listen.
Unless you have a question.
Yes. But I've learned so much from you about ministry, and I was sharing it with your son. His son is the pastor now of the church. And I was sharing with Brian, and I said, Brian, your dad doesn't know it, but his illustration of even the succession plan, from his leadership transferring the pastorship to the son, I was watching that and how that didn't happen overnight.
No.
And I'm actually utilizing a lot of that now, and you don't know it.
No, I
See,
don't.
he's a busy man.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're fine. He's a busy man. But I utilize what you did with Brian and Chip, your sons, how you elevated them in ministry, you trained them, you taught them over years. And so I'm using some of that now with a young man that I've been able to identify so far.
Powerful.
And so, but that's just by watching. You and I hadn't even talked about succession planning.
Right.
Not to that degree. I've just watched you. And by me watch this, guys, I'm going to say something powerful. Having access. If you have a good mentor and they allow you to have access, they've given you platinum. Not gold. They're giving you platinum. They've given you a platinum space to be with them, because people who really have lots of wisdom, they don't give a lot of access all the time.
That's right.
And they don't have to. They don't want to, give your pearls to the swine.
Right.
And have you wasting their time.
I agree. That access is on purpose. It's not by accident, it's on purpose.
It's on purpose.
But usually you have to see something before you make yourself available. So if I identify a gift.
Secret sauce again?
Secret sauce. There's a lot of people, wanting this, that, and the other there,
Yes,
but
sir.
the motive isn't pure, or they don't even know this is of God yet.
Right.
And you can waste an awful lot of time on an awful lot of people who are not called to do what they say they want to learn from you. So you have to identify who they are, and your gift makes room for you. So when you see it, even in a small increment, just I like that. Character building. And as they grow, then you can expose them to even more.
Wow. Wow. So even for the businessman, let's just put it in business perspective. Let's say you're a businessman, you've been successful for many, many years, because some of you who watch are businessmen. And you have lots of wisdom, discernment, you've gained lots of knowledge throughout the years. You have to be careful who you bring close to you, as Bishop says, because you could be wasting your time. And then you have to have discernment to know who you should be bringing towards you, and what type of relationship that should even look like. Am I right, Bishop?
I absolutely agree. Absolutely.
Wow.
You have to understand that anything that is ordained of God is automatically under attack from the enemy. So he sets out to diminish, demolish, to kill, to steal, to destroy. And if he can't get you to compromise your principle, he can waste your time if you allow him to. So that's what I'm saying. It's a lot on both ends.
Yes,
and if I'm I used to teach school, and I had students.
He was a professor, by the way.
Who would catch on, readily after the first two examples. Then half of the class still hadn't gotten it yet. You have to shift. That didn't work for them. What works for them? But their purpose of being in the class is to learn, and I have a semester to get that information so that they could regurgitate it or give it back to me some kind of way. It was a public speaking class, so whatever I talked about, they had to demonstrate and illustrate at some point. Some did better than others, okay, and some didn't do so well. But they all wanted a particular grade, but they're not willing to put in the time. And I said, speaking in public is one of the greatest fears. So you have to learn how to get up, stand up, look at somebody in the eye, and open your mouth. If you're not willing to put yourself through that pressure, through that process, you'll never get comfortable in that arena, and you'll find yourself deferring or backing down or not having the appropriate vocabulary. People who cuss a lot, you can really speak somebody out if you got a good vocabulary. You won't have to use these 4-letter words over and over and over and over again in all these different scenarios. So
True.
It's just a matter of because your time is valuable too. So whatever it is you're doing, you want to do that on purpose. So if you recognize a young man like you've already identified, I didn't identify my sons. I assumed just because of legacy, succession, and I knew they would be in ministry. I didn't know if they would be a pastor or anything like that. That had to be developed. And then I began, he's pretty good at this, he's pretty good at that. Brian, who's pastoring now, actually has more of his mother's heart than of mine. See what I'm saying? I thought Chip, the one you all can't see who's actually recording this session, would be the pastor because he's the elder. But that's not how God set the plan. So you have to keep yourself open for the move of God. Identify the various character traits, giftings, things of that nature. Most good pastors are exceptional teachers. So there are other giftings that need to be, you have some pastors that are evangelists, which means they don't shepherd very well.
That makes sense.
They want to see a lot of people coming to Christ, but they're not the ones that's going to take the time to grow the flock, to nurture them, to mature them, things of that nature. So it's a lot of little skill sets that each calling that comes with the calling that will help you in that regard. If you don't identify that, you'll frustrate a young man. I'm trying to pastor, and he really wants to be down the street on the corner. Just winning people to Christ. Once they get saved, he's gone on to somebody else. And he turns those people over to teachers and people who will actually nurture them.
Wow. Here's another question. As a mentor, have you ever had to tell someone something they didn't want to hear? Of course you have. Why is it important for leaders to have someone in their life who loves them enough to challenge them? Rather than simply agree with them. Right.
Let's go back to parenting. I can't get away from that. How many times did I hear something from my parents I didn't want to hear? If you asked me what I want to eat for breakfast, it was a little bologna sandwich. But no mother was not having that. Because I would have wanted the same thing for dinner. This is a kid. See what I'm saying? So you needed someone who had the wisdom. So you can't survive off of that. Ask me what I want to eat from now. Bologna is nowhere on the list. Right. So you hear no a lot, and you hear that, but they're shaping your boundaries, your disciplines, things of that nature, and you're not even realizing that you're benefiting from them. But at some point, you begin to grow up. You're feeling stronger. This is because of that. This is because of that. It's all principle based, and so sometimes you want to do something. Now, I don't make anybody do anything. I don't think even God does that because he's given us a will. So we always have the option to say yes or no or to choose. Best I can do is give you my best advice concerning this. Some will receive it, some will reject it, and some learn sooner, some learn later. But I try to not to let that impact how I feel about them, especially if I believe they have a genuine calling on their life. I know the enemy is after that calling. He doesn't want it to come forth. So I could frustrate somebody just by being mad or angry, but this is an opportunity for me to operate according to the will of the Spirit And sometimes you have to show mercy. No, I'm not agreeing with you. I can't stop you from doing what you want to do, but you're not going to get my agreement in this particular area. And you will have to say no so many times. Sometimes they will accept it. Sometimes they will reject it. Sometimes they mill over it. Sometimes they come back and say, thank you, you know, whatever. I just can't tell you what the answers would be depending on the person you're talking to. Yeah.
I'm going to share this with you, Bishop. It might bless some of you guys. I had a young man, and this has been about 7, 8 years ago. He started a church in Louisville, and he had a nice following. And he came to Ruth and I. He came from a large church in the city, and he came to Ruth and I. He and his wife came, and they wanted to talk, and they wanted me to cover them. And I always say they come to me like Nick at night. They don't want people to know they come to me, you know, for advice or whatever. And he and his wife was in the room. And so we talked about what that might look like, me covering them, my expectations. And so I asked Ruth to take his wife out of the office for a moment. And I sat there with him and I asked him, I said, you have any girlfriends? And he just looked at me. I said, you have any girlfriends, you know, women that you're hooking up with outside of your wife? So he just looked at me. And I said, if you want me to cover you, then I need you to open up your phone, show me who they are, and then we're going to delete the contacts.
Yeah. That's powerful.
So he opened up the phone. He deleted a couple of them. Now, I don't know if he deleted
all of them.
And I think after that meeting, he found out who I really was. Make a long story short, it didn't last 2 years.
I know.
It didn't last 2 years.
I've seen it, yeah.
It didn't last 2 years because he didn't want to be covered by me.
Right.
Because
no, he didn't want to be covered.
He didn't want to be covered.
Right.
He didn't want to be covered. And so, guys, listen, if you really want to expand what your business, your ministry, your 501c3, whatever it is you do, not only do you have to find the right mentor, but when they're asking you to do certain things, they're asking you to do certain things for a reason, and it's to improve you, your business, your nonprofit, whatever it is. If you're in ministry, the pastorate, whatever it is. And you have to listen.
Yes,
Bishop.
yes, definitely.
Like I listen to you.
You're only giving, everything is of God is principle based.
Yes.
I'm not just making up stuff.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Right,
but
right.
I know if you follow the principle, the blessing will follow at some point. It may not be tomorrow or the next day, but God is going to honor his principles with his promises. Now, if you, like the young man you're talking about, he needed that level of covering. If he was really wanting to please the Father, at some point he needs to know how those two things are connected. If you're in business and you want me to trust you, I'm a customer, and I see how you operate with your family. I want to go in business with you, and you don't even operate business correctly with your own spouse.
Wow.
So what do you want, money or what? No, it's integrity. It goes beyond that. So
Yes.
it's those kinds of things that once you get it,
Yes,
it
sir.
applies to everything that you do.
Wow.
Right.
That's good. Here's the last one. Now, guys, if you're enjoying this content, do me a favor. I want you to share it with someone. Copy the link, drop it in an email, do something, send it to your friends, because some of you guys, the people who watch us, you guys are motivators and you're go-getters, all right? And you're connected with other people who are trying to excel and level up in life. They need to hear this today on this lesson on mentorship, all right? I'm telling you, if you listen to what Bishop is teaching, it will elevate you. It will elevate mentors on how you deal with those you're mentoring, as well as those who need to be mentored, all right? So share it, Come on, share it with some of you have sons and daughters who are in business and things like that. Share it with them. Tell them to take 20 minutes out and share it. This is going to be golden for them. All right? And type in the chat, just type in there, mentorship. Just type that in there. I want to know you're still active and you're still with me.
Yeah,
just
good.
type in there, mentorship. Okay, one more question, and then I'm going to let Bishop go get something to eat. He was so gracious, guys, in allowing me to take up some of his time. And so just do something else for me in the chat. Just put thank you, Bishop. Just put thank you, Bishop. Do that for me real quick. I'm not going to move along until you put it in there. Thank you, Bishop, for your time, because I'm going to be honest. People pay $5,000 to $10,000 to sit in a room and listen to people like you talk.
How much are you paying me?
Yeah. Well, I'll buy you something to eat.
All I want you to do is live a principle-based life. Well, that goes a long way.
Praise God. Praise God. Now, I'm going to say this before I move to the last question. See, you open up a can of worms.
Sorry.
Now, if you have a mentor, you should be pouring into them also from time to time. It could be financially. You can write them a check. You can take them out to eat. Some of you own timeshares. Come on, somebody. You own timeshares, and there are dates when it's open. You can, tell your mentor, hey, I got these dates open. You can go and, it's already paid for. You just go and enjoy yourself. So this is another part of mentorship that we don't talk about a lot that needs to be addressed. It's reciprocal.
It is. Yeah.
Okay? Don't turn off now. It's reciprocal. In other words, if you're taking from someone, you should be giving something back. Because what they're giving you, especially when it relates to mentorship, is so valuable. It's invaluable. You can't pay for it anyway. You can't pay for this. This right here, I can't pay for this.
That's right.
This is built off of years of trust. If I was someone who just came to him 6 months ago and said, can you mentor me? Hey, and also, can we have an interview? He might say, I don't know.
Right.
Because he doesn't know me that well, number one.
So much more needs to be understood. Right?
Yes. And so when you have the relationship, you have to keep that relationship going. He's important to me. His wife is important to me, and my wife. They're golden. They're platinum for us. And so I'm telling you, if I was a millionaire, they would know it. They would know it if I was a millionaire, and I'm trying to get there too. They would know I was a millionaire because I would be blessing them at that level. Okay? Anyway, here's the last one. Chip, thanks, Chip. Chip is taking care. He's the cameraman. He's taking care of us in the background. I appreciate it. That's Bishop's son. He's an elder also at the church. Chip, what's your official title or position at the church? Because I want to say it right.
I assist the leaders.
Okay, he assists the leaders, and yes.
Community care director.
Community care director?
Yes.
Okay, community care director. And so y'all give a shout out to Chip. Tell Chip, thanks, Chip. Just
Thanks,
type it
Chip.
in there. Thanks, Chip. Just type it in the chat real quick. All right, last question. How has mentorship shaped your own life? Who mentored you, and where do you think you would be today if those voices had not been spoken into your life?
Oh, wow. I think I would be delayed to some degree. My mentors were mostly women.
Okay.
When I got to college, that's when I got a real positive male role model. My father was a role model when I was younger. But when we got junior high, high school, he became a little distant. We didn't see him as often. We were desiring what he had to bring to the table, but he just wasn't available. So when we got to college, because I was a theater major, and we like to draw, design, build sets, things like that. And we met this guy named Professor W. Dury Cox. He was an ex-Marine, and he was the technical director there at Tennessee State University. So all the things that I dreamt about doing, he's instructing my brother and I. And he actually said this, he says, I only see students like you once in every 10 years.
Wow.
So he recognized something in us that was in himself. But because most people who come to, get a degree in communication or theater, they want to be a performer or something like that.
Okay.
I wasn't trying to be an actor or anything. We wanted to design and build sets and that kind of thing. So that's what my ministry is about now, as a matter of fact. So you can see how he impacted us is long term, and God actually utilized that to formulate our living parables ministry. And that's what we do. We write plays.
Tell them a little bit about that.
How much time do I have?
You have plenty of time.
Okay, this is a short story. I came home from school. My mother's crying. All right. My thought is someone has passed away, some tragedy. We had one phone. I'm dating myself again. So, and there was no privacy. You couldn't run. You're on the phone. You could go as long as the cord. So when she got off the phone, I said, okay, Mom, what happened? Who died? She said, what are you talking about? I said, you were crying. She said, oh, that was somebody on TV. That was one of her soap operas. And so I saw the impact that medium has on people. Didn't think much about it then, but when I gave my life to the Lord and got saved, I wanted to write scripts that would bring people to Christ, evangelizing with theater.
Wow.
And I realized what you look at on television, most of it's fiction until you get to, well, I think some of the news is even fiction now, but
Right.
So we would decide, I said, well, let's just take parables, rewrite them, or nursery rhymes or stories, things like that, bring out the morality, the principles of it, and minister without standing behind a pulpit. So we would, we've been doing, that's the part of the ministry we've been doing for more than 50 years.
Wow.
So that mentorship that I received from him, actually, God put in place because he knew where I would be, what I would be doing when I was actually called to ministry, and then the style of ministry that he would give us in that regard. Prior to that, it would be my mother, and it would be my wife's mother, because my wife's mother is the one that actually discipled me. She allowed me to come into her house, and we had Bible study every single day. And she finally came across this one scripture, man that doesn't work doesn't eat. She said, I said, oh my God. So I knew I had to go out and get a job.
That was her little cue to
right,
you.
that was kicking me out of the nest. I'm saved now, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost. Now go get a job.
Go get a job.
There's a practical side to all of this as well. And how many people has she mentored? Just like that. It was very relational, one-on-one, just much like what we're doing right now. I actually prefer that to stand behind a pulpit preaching. But I can't tell you how long that process lasted. It was at least a 4-year process, right?
Yes, sir.
And then I didn't know I was going to become her pastor one day. I didn't know I was going to be married to her daughter. I didn't know any of that. I'm just saying you remember those people who made that type of impact in your life. So Mom spoke after we started the church, she's the one that even named the church.
She named the church.
Born Again Church.
Church.
Right. So she has an honored place, in my heart, in my life, right.
When I'm off a little bit. When I first, I think maybe it was the second time I went to Born Again. One of your nephews, I met him after church. There was a lot of people there. Something was going on. I don't know if it was a conference or something was going on. Anyway, he said, did you meet I think he said my grandmother, Mother Waters. No, he said, have you met Mother Waters? I said, no. And so he took me to her and introduced me to her. So that was an honor to be able to meet her.
Oh.
She was in the wheelchair at that time.
Yeah. Fabulous lady. That's all I could say.
Yeah.
Right. I fell in love with her first.
So your first mentor was your father, of course, when you were younger.
Younger.
And then.
But my mother was the one that introduced all the biblical principles. You know, we had to say our prayers at night. You couldn't eat at the table without doing grace.
Gotcha.
You know, the bathing routines, how to clean your room. You know, that's just the way we were raised. There's
Yes.
certain things you do. We didn't have much, but it was clean. The house was always in some type of order. If we sat down, we ate, then one of my siblings had a responsibility for cleaning the table, scraping the dishes. We didn't have garbage disposal, stacking them, washing them, putting them up. That was just the routine. That's order. Didn't realize
Order, yeah.
that would bring, you know, order in some other respect in my life a little later on. So you think of that, being born into that, and then watching her get dressed, get us prepared for school every day, and then Sunday morning services, you know, it was that pattern.
Yes.
That pattern. So my sons, when they went off to college, they thought they wanted to stay on campus, but they could stay. They stayed 1 year because every time they went to the restroom or the bathroom, they had to clean it before they could use it. You just think of a dormitory,
Right,
and
right.
as many people
Right.
might be, and that as thing they did. So this is a bit much. So since we lived in the same city, they were going to school, and they said, "Can we just come back home?" So their days would start off a little with some order in it. But that's mentorship.
Yes.
Or discipleship, or whatever you want to call it. I remember preachers and sermons and things like that, but that hands-on,
Yes, sir.
those people who were integral in helping to shape me.
There was another elder gentleman, this was when I first met you, that you introduced me to as one of your mentors in your older age. Okay, and he was a pastor. I think he was one of them. I might be off now.
Okay.
Was it Belmont?
Oh, you're talking about Don Pinto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he
Yes.
something like that?
Yes, sir, he was. I was already, you know, in ministry, saved,
Right.
pastoring a
And you
church.
were older. You were older. I mean, it wasn't like you were 20 years
I was.
old. Right?
I met him. I started pastoring at 28. I probably met him when I was 30
Okay.
or 32.
Okay.
And he was actually.
Well, no, you were younger than I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was thinking he came later.
No, he'd been in my life. He's 97 years old right now.
Wow.
He's 19 years my senior.
And so,
And
wow.
because we were a little ministry, you know,
Okay.
and he was this big, fabulous church, all these country music stars, stuff like that, and he just kind of picked us up because I wasn't getting it from the denomination we were part of.
So how did that happen, though? How did that connect happen? I mean,
Someone, I don't know if you know the name, Pam Paxton, Gary Paxton, was that his name? Country
Sounds
music
familiar.
singer, you know, but
Okay.
we had a lot of music industry people in our church.
okay.
So
okay.
they kind of set out a call for all churches that had music industry people. We were the only black church involved because, you would know these people. C.C. Winans was a
Right.
member of our church for 20-some years. Her brother, B.B. Angie Prim is still there.
Angie.
Anointed, who were recording artists. Carmen, who was a big
Carmen.
national, he was there for about 3 years. But they had a tendency, not those people that I named, but you know, they kind of church hop. So
Okay.
we were trying to bring a sense of accountability to them.
Oh, so those churches
So they wouldn't go
came
from one church to one church to one church to one church.
I got you.
So when you said that young man came to visit you and wanted you to cover him, one of our first, because that happens a lot, the first question we would ask is, how did you leave where you were? Does your pastor know you're here?
Okay.
What was the relationship like there? I said, you just can't walk off.
Gotcha.
We send them back to
Wow.
make certain that if
Accountability.
right.
Yeah.
And then they realize, kids would want to come to my house and spend the night, or they want to live with us. But when they came to the house, they saw the discipline, because they see them in another setting. They just think it's all fun and things of that nature. But when you got to my house, you have to wash dishes, or you have to pick up after
Order,
yourself, and you have to.
structure, yeah.
And then they didn't want to stay after that.
Right.
So that's that decently and in order thing. So it's just things like that. So there have been a lot of people for periods of time, but the
Right.
three that I named, you know, I just
Gotcha.
think, and I should have mentioned Don Pinto.
Don,
because
and what is it?
Finto, F-I-N-T-O.
F-I-N-T-O.
T-O, right.
Okay.
He pastored one of the largest churches there in Nashville.
In Nashville.
And we're Caucasian, but he just received me like I was his son.
Wow.
And the lawyer he introduced us to, the tax guy he introduced us to, not the architect, but we've had 5 building programs. So I'm just saying,
Wow.
they still service us today. So that's
Based off of that relationship.
off of that relationship, right? Which I couldn't get from the denomination that we were in. They wanted offerings.
But they didn't offer me. No, well, let me show I get in trouble.
Well, they give me another opportunity to give another offering. Let's put it that way, right?
I got you.
Right.
Bishop, you know what? Thank you for
You're welcome.
sharing these moments and wisdom with my family, my Forever Fly family.
Amen. Amen.
And I know you guys appreciate it. Type in the chat if you appreciated the teaching and the setting that we had here today. This was different than what we've ever done before, but it's necessary, it's needed, and it's valuable. And I know this is going to be a blessing to you guys. But Bishop, I want to thank you so much, because I was looking forward to this since last week, being able to interview you during this pastor's retreat. By the way, the pastor's retreat, if you have a ministry and you don't have a covering, do not have a covering, let's say you're a pastor, or maybe you, Bishop, give me some examples of other types of ministry.
If you might belong to a church, but your church doesn't necessarily support the ministry that you're in.
Okay.
And we don't like the idea of anyone being in the family of God and not having a covering. So KBN, kind of like, we have people in the music industry, but the church is not sending them out in that evangelistic field. They do that on themselves. But in this regard, he would be your mentor. This is what we're trying to set up now. Because I think Kentucky, Atlanta, Georgia, North Carolina, it's 5 states.
Right.
We could have superintendents in all those
That's
areas,
true.
right? But it's relational.
Right.
So even if you decide to come, we would want you to bring, your mission statements, things like that. We do have certain things that we believe in.
Yes.
We don't support anything, every kind of teaching. It has to be biblically based, biblically sound.
Definitely.
And then whoever you are in relationship with, like in this case, it would be Pastor Ward. You could be like their superintendent.
Gotcha.
Or if it grows to that extent, we could, it's not about titles. It's really about relationship. The titles come. But in that regard, you'll be that spiritual entity in that particular area. And they don't have to worry about developing a relationship with me, because everybody that's in KBN now has a direct relationship with me. So can't do that halfway across the country. Right. But we're building his kingdom. This is how kingdom grows. We're all connected, right?
Kingdom Builders Network. Kingdom Builders Network. And if you want more information about that, go to Born Again Church and go to the contact section. Wherever the contact section is on that web page, click on that and just type in there, I'd like to know more about Kingdom Builders Network.
Right, or KBN.
Or KBN. And then someone will get back with you with that information, and I think you'll be pleased also. Bishop, I love you.
Love you too, sir.
And it's an honor, and love you, and I'm gonna let you get something to eat.
All right, thank you. You don't hear my stomach growling. All right,
I don't know. Love you.
Love you,
All
guys.
right, guys. Give us that thumbs up, right? And subscribe. What are you waiting for? You know you like the content. You're still here. So go on and subscribe. And if you don't, I'm going to tell Ruth on you. Okay? All right, I love you guys. Y'all take care.